What's up, everybody? Justin here, back with my final part 5 of my top 50 movies of the 1990s. All these movies are what I was into. These type of movies is what I love and what I was into. That's why they're on my top 50. You don't like my list? Too fucking bad. Make your own top movies list of the 90s. All these movies, again, are my favorites of the 90s and what I was entertained by and interested in. In the 90s, again, I love horror movies. Love them. I collect them. I have a huge collection of horror movies. But in the 90s, horror was kind of dead, except for Scream and the Scream series. So here we go with the final part, top 50 movies of the 90s, number 10 to 1. Here we fucking go. It's all pretty damn hot in this room where I shoot the videos, but it's not that bad. Even though I'm sweating on my head a little. I should have put a fan in here or something. Anyways, number 10. Great, all-time great. American, it's called comedy romance, I guess. There's some romance in it. A lot of couples trying to get together. Group of friends in high school all make a pact to try to lose their virginity. They want to lose their virginity before they graduate high school, their senior year. And my God, one of the greatest comedies of all time. The final year of the decade of the 90s, it came out, 1999. What am I talking about? My number 10 is American Pie. It's fucking up there. One of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite comedies of all time. It's up there with... to me, it's up there with Ghostbusters, and Porky's is some of my favorite movies. But Ghostbusters, the original, I will say, is my number one favorite of all time. But my God, American Pie is great. Funny as hell. A lot of classic moments in it. A lot of quotable things are said, like this one time at band camp. She says that over and over and over. And then finally at the end she says, this one time at band camp I stuck a flute in my pussy. And Jason Biggs' character spits out his drink. He can't believe it. Because he just thought she was a band geek and a nerd and not into anything. Or he just thought she was boring. What a cast. All these people in American Pie. All these actors and actresses. All of them were casted perfect. Casted just absolutely perfectly. They fit the roles. They killed it. Listen to this cast. Maybe you don't know any of them because you haven't watched American Pie, but I say fucking watch it. It's actually available. If you look it up on Google, it says you can watch right now on Peacock. See right there, Peacock. Watch now on Peacock. I believe they have part 2 and 3 also. I don't know if they have part 4, American Reunion. I don't know. But again, the whole series is great. The 4 American Pie movies are great. The original is the best. It's a classic. And I don't know if Google knows this, but they claim I already watched it. It actually says I already watched it. In the middle right there. How do they know that? I don't fucking know. That's weird. I do have a Google account because you need to start one to get on YouTube. But how the fuck do they know I watched American Pie? I don't know. That's crazy about, I guess, computers save data or some shit. It's not like I watched American Pie on this phone, because I did not. I watched on my Fire TV on Peacock app. Anyways, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 61%. Fuck them. IMDb gave it 7 out of 10. I give it 10 out of 10. It's a classic. It's awesome. Great cast. I'll tell you the box office and the budget in a minute. But great casting. Again, perfect casting for all these roles. Jason Biggs is Jim. Sean William Scott, Stifler. He's great at that role. Stifler, absolutely. Him playing Stifler made him fucking a star. He's worked in a lot of other stuff, but I can't think of what other movies he was in or shows. I know he's in that stupid movie, Dude, Where's My Car? I didn't think that was funny at all. Tiny bit funny. But, yeah. Then we got Allison Hannigan is Michelle, the girl that stuck the flute to you-know-where. Chris Klein is Chris Oz. Tara Reid. My God, she looked really good in 1999. She probably still looks good. I haven't seen her in anything really since Sharknado. I don't know what she does now. But Eddie K. Thomas is Paul Fitch, who gets with Stifler's mom in the movie. That's hilarious. Shannon Elizabeth, my God, she's smoking hot. This movie made her a star, got her a few other movies, but not that many. She was Nydia. And I'm telling you the whole cast, because they were all great in it. Really good. Damn good. That's why there were sequels made, I believe. Because they were so well in it, did so well, had such great chemistry. That's why there are sequels. Natasha Lyonne, Jessica. Thomas Ian Nichols was Kevin Myers. Mira Sorvino was Heather. Jennifer Coolidge, she was so great in it as Stifler's mom. Eugene Levy was Jim's dad. My God, he's funny as hell in it too. He's really good in it. In the whole franchise, he was good in it. Jason Biggs was really good in it also. So now let's get the box office. What did it make? I'm going to guess that it made about 100, I don't know, I'm going to say between 90 million and 100 it made at the box office. I don't know what it made, but I'm going to look it up right now. So here we go, box office, or budget. I don't care who the fuck is directed by. That doesn't matter to me, really, who directs movies that much. I care about the actors more. But some directors, mostly in horror, I know their names and I give them credit. Like Wes Craven, Tobe Hooper, George Romero, guys like that. So, yeah, the budget was 11 million only. So I think that's a little bit too high. Should have been between, like, I don't know, 5 and 9 million. 11 million. I don't know why it cost that much. There were, like, no special effects. Who knows? 11 million it cost. Good Lord, the box office. I had no clue it made this much. I thought it made 100 to 90 million. It made 235.5 million. American Pie, the first one, made a hell of a profit. 235.5 million, and it cost 11 million. That right there makes it a fucking cult film and a classic and a huge hit also. And I've watched it back, the original American Pie. I just watched it like 2 to 3 months ago on Peacock again. I've watched it probably like 10 times already. Maybe more. I don't know. But my God, what a hell of a profit at the box office. Now my number 11 movie, not 11, number 9. Number 9 is, the only rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Number 9 is Fight Club. I believe it came out in 99. I think. I'm going to look it up here and get you the budget and the box office numbers. Fight Club is a 1999 film. And of course it stars Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. They're damn good in it. So, my goodness, Fight Club came out, released September 10th, 1999. Budget was 63 to 65 million. At the box office, it made 101.2 million. So that's a damn good profit of about close to 40 million. I don't know where you can get Fight Club and where to watch it or stream it. Maybe you can rent it. I don't know. But let's look it up. What it's like available on to watch. You can watch it now from YouTube TV, I guess. It's on. It says I already watched it. No, I haven't watched it in a long time. Since, I don't know why they're saying I already watched it on Google. I did not watch it on any streaming service at all. Last time I saw it was on cable. And I watched it and sat through commercials. So it's available on YouTube for rent, $3.99. It's available on Vido, whatever the hell that is, or Vida, for $4. It's on Amazon Prime for $4. So it's not any streaming service. You gotta rent it. Or maybe you own it. Fight Club, great movie. From 1999 is my number 9. Number 8. 1991, I believe it came out. I think. I'm guessing. Or my memory it wants to think it came out in 91. My number 8. White Men. Or White Man Can't Jump. White Man. It's called White Men Can't Jump. Not White Man. That'd be funny if it's called White Man Can't Jump. So, anyways, I'm positive it came out in 91. 1992, so I was off by a year. White Men Can't Jump. Hell of a movie. Really, really, really good. Great casting. Woody Harrelson's great. Wesley Snipes is great. Rosie Perez is great. Who else is in it? Not many others that I know, except those 3. Great movie. White Men Can't Jump. I did not see the remake, and I don't care to. I'm sure it sucked. The original was the best. White Man Can Jump, my number 8. It was released March 27th, 92. The budget is 31 million. I don't know why the fuck it cost so much. For 92, that's a lot. 30 million. 31 million it cost. Box office, it made 90.8 million. That's a great profit. White Men Can't Jump. My number 8. Now my number 7. This could have been like number 20 or 10 or 30, but I put it down lower because I love the fucking movie. The music in it, there's a short reference to pro wrestling is shown on the TV in it. That was awesome to see because I love pro wrestling. Anyways, my number 7, Encino Man. Hell of a movie. I don't care what anybody thinks or says. That's a fucking funny as hell movie and a classic. Encino Man. So let me get the box office for Encino Man. 1992 Encino Man. You can't find it on a streaming service. I've tried. Or actually you can, I believe. But, yeah, it's on like a free app to watch it with a couple commercials. So Encino Man, you can find it if you never saw it on Tubi for free. Or Amazon Prime, you can rent it for $3.79. YouTube TV, $4. Google Play Movies and TV. I guess they have a streaming service. So anyways, it's available on like 4 different streaming services. Encino Man, hell of a movie. Funny as hell. I'm going to watch it again very, very soon. I started watching in the beginning, but I had to stop it the other day. So, great cast. Brendan Fraser, who, my God, the guy won an Oscar recently this year. He's a great actor, but he was a fucking caveman in it. So, my goodness. Here's the Encino Man poster. Where the Stone Age meets the Rock Age. Seriously, that guy right there. The caveman. Brendan Fraser. He fucking won an Oscar. 29 years later. Or 31 years later. Something like that. He won an Oscar for whatever that movie's called. The Whale. I think it was The Whale. He was great in it. I didn't see it, but he was really good in it. I know he was, because I heard good things about it. Also, Brendan Fraser, or I think that's how, Brendan Fraser, that's how you say his name. He did an interview this year, I believe, earlier in the year, or maybe last December, I'm not sure. But he did an interview with Howard Stern, and Howard Stern liked The Whale. He said it was really good, that Brendan Fraser should win the Oscar, and I respect Howard's opinion on good movies. So I'm sure The Whale was good. But this is about Encino Man, is my number 7. The budget, again, Brendan Fraser was damn good in it as a caveman, and I'm sure it wasn't that fucking easy to act because he didn't speak in it. Just acted like a goddamn caveman that couldn't talk, and he had to learn stuff. That's what was so goddamn funny about Encino Man. He kept doing us crazy, stupid shit. And Pauly Shore and the other guy, what's his name? The hell's his name? Sean Austin. They had to teach him to be a human and live like a regular man, not a caveman. Just hilarious shit. Then at the end, I will say, they had a cave woman appear, and she was hiding in their house. That was funny shit. They could have did a sequel easily and did Encino Woman Part 2. Could have done a sequel to it without Brandon Fraser. And just have a smoking hot chick play a cave woman and then learn to be a woman. But, I don't know. It wouldn't have been much of a story there. Because you already saw it in Encino Man. You can't really make a sequel to it. I mean, I guess you could, but then the caveman would have to, like, be in the part 2 and act like totally act like a human. And be smart as hell or something. But my God, I did not think you could make a sequel to Weekend at Bernie's. Bernie died. And they still made a fucking sequel and he was still dead. Somehow he'd stand up and start dancing when he'd hear music. Or Jamaican music, which I don't get, but it was hilarious. Weekend at Bernie's, I believe, is on my top 50. Hell, my God, that movie's great. Funny as hell. I don't see it here. No, Weekend at Bernie's is 1989. So it's not from the 90s. That's why it was not on my top 50 of the 90s. So Encino Man, my number 7, budget was $7 million. That's a low budget. Good Lord, box office made $40.7 million. That's good profit. Really good for a low budget movie. And for sure, Encino Man got Pauly Shore a lot of work after it. He was like, I'm sorry for belching, but that's what happens. Humans belch. So anyways, yeah, Pauly Shore made his career off of Encino Man. He kept getting hired to do, like, straight-to-video movies. Some were in the theaters. Some were not straight-to-video, but the guy made a career in movies from Encino Man. And he was good in Encino Man. He was playing himself like what he fucking did on MTV. I don't know what he was doing, playing a character or what. But, yeah, Pauly Shore in the early 90s, he was fucking popular and pretty over. So, Encino Man, my number 7. Number 6, great movie. Very long. Very long movie, but damn good. Just one of Tom Hanks's best acting roles. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you in a minute. My number 6 from 1994 is Forrest Gump. So many quotable lines in it. God damn, I can't think of that one. We sing at the bench. Oh, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh, that is hilarious. I don't know if Forrest Gump was slow in it, really slow in it, or obviously he had brains and he was smart, but he acted slow as hell in it. Maybe that's his accent. I don't know if he was supposed to be from Louisiana. I don't fucking know. But he did act kind of stupid in it. But maybe he was supposed to. I don't know. But he talked funny as hell. Again, Forrest Gump is a romantic comedy drama film. Came out in June 23rd, 94. And the rest of the United States on July 6th, 94. Forrest Gump, again, long movie, 142 minutes. So what is that? 2 hours, 22 minutes, I think. Budget was $55 million. Good God. The box, this is probably one of Tom Hanks' biggest movies at the box office, I think. I think he's in Saving Private Ryan also. That might have made more. I don't know. But budget is $55 million. Box office, it made $678.2 million. That's a lot of fucking money. Holy shit. So obviously it was a big fucking hit. People love Forrest Gump. They probably kept going back to the theaters over and over and seeing it. By the way, Titanic from the 90s is not on my top 50. I didn't care for it. It was not bad, but I'm not putting it on my top 50 of the 90s because I didn't care about it or care for it. I've seen it. It's not bad. I don't hate Titanic, but it's not one of my favorite movies of the 90s, so it does not go on my list of my top 50. If I made a top 100, I could put Titanic on there. But again, I don't care about it. I think a lot more females were into Titanic, I think. Is my guess. Probably because Leonardo was in it. So, yeah. I know this friend of my mom's, back in the 90s when Titanic came out. Listen to this. You want to hear a funny story? This friend of my mom's told her she saw Titanic like 10 to 20 times. She went to the theater to see Titanic 10 times. What the fuck is wrong with you? Now, I heard of Marvel fans, comic book fans were going back to the theaters for Avengers Endgame or Infinity War. Like going back 5 to 10 times, 50 times. That's insane to me. That's fucking insane. Now, I've seen Ghostbusters like 50 times or 100. But I wouldn't go to the theater and keep paying over and over and over to see it. I would just wait for it on video or DVD. Seriously. Why would you have to go see Titanic 10 times in the fucking theater? I'll never know. I don't get it. That's insane to me. Any movie. I won't go to the theater 5 to 10 times to see any movie over. I won't even go back a second time to pay. That's just me. I don't get why people would. Because you can't wait for it to be released, to rent or buy it? What the fuck? That's insane. Or you're obsessed with the fucking movie theater that you want to keep going back. I don't know. But this is about, Forrest Gump. $678.2 million. It's probably made way more after that. Because that was, good Lord, that was 29 years ago. Almost. Forrest Gump was released. Next year it'll be 30 years. 30-year anniversary of Forrest Gump next year. But, my God, it's probably made since 29 years ago. It's rentals and people buying it on Blu-ray or DVD. Forrest Gump's probably up to like 900 million in a profit or more. Maybe over a billion. I don't know. But Forrest Gump, my God, made Tom Hanks a fucking superstar. The guy already was a movie star, but Forrest Gump absolutely elevated Tom Hanks. And the guy's a great actor, and he's a super nice guy. Nobody has a bad thing to say about Tom Hanks in Hollywood or fans that met him. Nobody. Because he's a great guy, that's why. So again, number 6, Forrest Gump. It could have been in my top 5. It's that good. But it's long. And him and Jenny in the movie. Very sad what happens at the end of Forrest Gump. Very sad. So, man, a great cast. Lieutenant Dan, who sadly had his legs blown off in the movie from the Vietnam War. And Forrest Gump doesn't understand why he's so angry and bitter because he's in war. Why? No shit. Forrest, wake up. Number 5. Great comedy. To me, one of the great Bill Murray movies. Just one of the all-time great comedies also. Bill Murray's been in a lot of comedies that are great. Ghostbusters 1, 2, Stripes, Meatballs. He was part of the fucking original, or the second year of Saturday Night Live. He was part of the cast for 4 to 5 years. And my God, he was damn good in that. So, of course, he was going to be a fucking movie star. But, what about Bob? What about Bob is my number 5. From 1991, I believe. I think it came out in 91. Anyways, what about Bob? Great movie. Fun. Just funny as hell. Okay, because Bill Murray, great cast. Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss. Bill Murray plays a mentally unstable patient who follows his psychologist or psychotherapist. Same thing to me. Whatever the difference is, I don't know. But follows his therapist when he tells him he's going on vacation, he can't see him. Bill Murray's like, I don't care, I'll take a bus ride then and I'll fucking find you at your home, your summer home, and I'll just show up and get your... What did he think? Seriously, what did fucking Bill Murray's character, Bob, what the fuck did you think? To show up at your therapist's house, you thought he was going to treat you there? And do therapy sessions with you there when he's on vacation? But obviously, Bob didn't give a fuck because he was mentally ill. Mentally ill people do that. They'll show up anywhere if they're mentally ill. They don't care if you tell them, no, don't show up. But God almighty, funny as hell. He shows up at Richard Dreyfuss's home when he's on vacation, and the other members of the Richard Dreyfuss's family actually like Bob and think he's a great guy and nice, and they invite him into their home, feed him dinner, and they're nice as hell to him. And Richard Dreyfuss, the guy, starts getting absolutely furious. He starts snapping on Bob. It's great shit. Look at this movie poster. Funny as hell. Guy choking another guy. Seriously, if you haven't seen What About Bob, it's a fucking classic and a gem. The budget, it came out May 17th, 91. The budget's $39 million. I don't know why it'd be that high. I really don't. But $39 million. In the box office, it made $63.7 million. What About Bob is a classic and funny as hell. Number 4. This is not a comedy. This is truly real. Feels like a real. Doesn't even feel like a movie when you're watching it. Feels real. Like a real fucking story, and it was legit based on the violence in murders in South Central LA, where there was a ton of gangs in South Central. Maybe there still are. I don't know. I've never been there. But in the early 90s, there was a lot of violence and crime in South Central LA. So, number 4, Boys in the Hood. Great movie. Great movie. One of my favorites. Boys in the Hood, I'm sure made a ton of money, a huge profit. It had to. And Ice Cube's first movie, he didn't really believe in himself that he could act, but the director, I believe, John Singleton, or Singleton, talked Ice Cube into being in it, that he could act and be good in it. Everybody was good in this. The other guys, I don't really know, except Larry Fishburne. I know him. He was great in it as a dad. Cuba Gooding Jr. I know, and Ice Cube I know. And one of the women that was Cuba's girlfriend, I forget her name, but I know of her. So anyways, release date for Boys in the Hood came out in July 12th, 91. Budget is only $6.5 million. Again, it's kind of, if you watch Boys in the Hood back, it's kind of really relevant as to what's happening now in a lot of the country, with cops just absolutely abusing their power and going after black people a lot. And just horrible. Just beating them or killing them is what has happened. And was a scene in Boys in the Hood where one of the cops sticks a fucking gun in Cuba Gooding Jr.'s mouth for no fucking reason, just to scare him. Horrible. Police brutality is horrible. Should never happen. They should not pick on any race. But there's bad, dirty cops everywhere. Every job, in my opinion, there's some good people, really good people, and some really bad people that you meet at the workplace. But hopefully they're not murderers. By the way, also, Black Lives Matter. Fucking watch Boys in the Hood. It's eye-opening if you've never lived in a bad neighborhood. Or a neighborhood with minorities in it. I have lived with minorities in my neighborhood my whole life. Since I was 4 years old. And I still do. As I drop my phone. Anyways, Boys in the Hood. Great movie. Watch it if you've never seen it. $6.5 million. Box office, it made $57.5 million. That's a great profit. Great profit. Boys in the Hood is a classic. It's a great movie. And it's my number 4. Number 3, another great movie from the 90s. A classic. Absolute classic. Great actors in it. Great acting. It's a mob-style movie about the mob, and most specifically about Henry Hill, who was a part of the mob. And I believe he got out of the mob, and a lot of the guys he knew he turned on, I think, in court. The real-life Henry Hill story, I don't know all about it, but look up Henry Hill. The guy, I think, was a rat, but I don't blame him for wanting to get out. And my God, later on, late 90s, early 2000s, Henry Hill basically became a whack Packer on the Howard Stern show. Henry Hill, man, he was nuts. He'd show up drunk or just out of it. I believe he became an alcoholic later on in his life. But Henry Hill was nuts on the Howard Stern show. Very entertaining, but out of his mind. So, yeah, my number three. My number three, Goodfellas. What a hell of a movie. Also has one of the greatest GIFs on Twitter of Ray Liotta laughing. I've used that GIF like 100 times of him laughing at the table. Great GIF. By the way, rest in peace. Ray Liotta was a great fucking actor. The guy got typecast, in my opinion, a lot. Is just playing a mob guy or a cop or a dirty cop. Find a movie of Ray Liotta's. Fun fact, if you didn't know, the final movie of Ray Liotta was this year. Cocaine Bear. And he was damn good in it. That was his final movie, Cocaine Bear. I think he got into drugs in his life. I'm not sure, but that's kind of weird. If he was not into drugs, I apologize, but I don't know. But he's in a movie called Cocaine Bear, was his final movie. And nothing to do with him. The bear found cocaine. Not Ray Liotta's fault. Sound like Ray Liotta fed the bear cocaine. By the way, Cocaine Bear, great fucking movie. Entertaining as hell, I thought. And Peacock owns it. And I believe Universal Pictures and Peacock, they put the money up for Cocaine Bear, I think. Because it says it's only available on Peacock. So I believe Peacock owns it. NBC Universal. So, Goodfellas. Good Lord, what a movie. What a great cast. Great director. Martin Scorsese directed it. Goodfellas was released September 9th, 1990. First year of the decade. And that movie's coming up on September 9th. Wow. Goodfellas will be 33 years old. 33 years old. You got Robert De Niro still alive. Joe Pesci still alive. And a few others, I think, are still alive from it. The woman, Lorena, Bradshaw, I can't say her name. She was in Goodfellas. Also later on, she was damn good in Sopranos as Tony's therapist. I believe. I know she had to be in Sopranos. I'm pretty sure. Yes. She had a main role in Sopranos. She was Jennifer Melfi. And she was on Sopranos from 99 to 07. And in 1990, she was in Goodfellas, and she was damn good in it. Damn good. Is Henry Hill's wife, I believe. So Goodfellas had a budget of $25 million. Box office was only $47.1 million. I thought it would make a lot more than that, but maybe it has, and rentals and people buying it on DVD or Blu-ray. Again, Ray Liotta was great in it as Henry Hill. He was so good in it. Robert De Niro was great, and Joe Pesci was great, and Lorena was great. All of them. It was a great cast. So that's my number 3. My number 2. Number 2. One of my favorite actors. One of just absolute legend, in my opinion. He's not an all-time great actor, but he's a fucking icon in my opinion. An action hero icon. A great guy. One of my heroes growing up. I love the guy. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And my number 2 is Terminator 2. T2. T2 is my number 2. That's kind of funny. T2 is my number 2 movie of the 1990s. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. A lot better than the first Terminator. Hell of a great special effects that were just really good. The T-1000, Robert Patrick, I think his name is. Yeah, Robert Patrick as T-1000 was great. My God, they had great, awesome special effects for him as a Terminator. Where he gets shot in the head or face, a giant hole would appear and it would seal up with like liquid. Yeah, that was awesome shit. I actually I have an action figure of T-1000 dressed as a bike cop. I still have it. I should have busted it out to show you, but so I put away in a box. But I still have the T-1000 action figure. So T2 Terminator 2 Judgment Day was released on July 3rd, 1991. Great cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger killed it. Robert Patrick was great. Linda Hamilton was great. The kid, I don't remember his name. I don't really care. But he was okay in it. So, my goodness. Terminator 2, very long movie. Over 2 hours, I believe. Had a budget between $94 million and $102 million. But my God, the box office made between $519 million and $520.9 million at the box office. Probably one of the biggest opening box offices in Arnold Schwarzenegger's legendary career. And I say legendary career because all of his fucking movies he has made in the 80s and early 90s. I even liked him in End of Days and later stuff that he was in. I liked him in Terminator 3 and the other 2 Terminators he's appeared in. He was good in The Expendables also. But Arnold Schwarzenegger's an absolute icon because of movies that I love, like Predator, The Running Man, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. He's also in Red Sonja, he appears. It's like a co-starring role in Red Sonja. With Bridget Nielsen was in Red Sonja, and damn, she looked good. When she was Red Sonja, to me, she was attractive as hell as Red Sonja. She was still attractive in Rocky IV. She's a lot older now, but she still looks pretty good, I think. But, yeah, Red Sonja, underrated movie in my opinion. And goddamn, Bridget Nielsen was hot in it. And she did great playing Red Sonja. But that's an 80s movie. I'm talking about 90s movies. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, all-time great movie, all-time great action movie. Is my number 2. My number 1 from another one of my heroes and guys that I look up to, and I'm a super fan of his and his show. Came out of the movie, like a biopic of his career, and showed him as a family man at the end. And then right after the movie, he got divorced. But anyway, still an all-time great movie in my opinion. My number 1 movie of the 1990s. Howard Stern's Private Parts, 1997. One of the all-time to me, great movies. Absolutely great movies. Because I'm going to get the numbers for you, how much it made. It's a biopic, as I said. Biopic comedy film produced by the great Ivan Reitman and directed by Betty Thomas. There's a legendary poster of Private Parts. You're not a Howard Stern fan, that's fine, but I fucking am. I've never laughed harder in my life than times listening to the Howard Stern Show or watching them on the E! Network. I've never in my life again laughed harder at any show or any entertainment than I have at the Howard Stern Show. So again, I'm biased. I'll admit it. I'm a Howard Stern super fan, and Private Parts is my favorite movie of the 90s. And one of my all-time favorite movies also. It's right behind Ghostbusters. It's number 2 behind Ghostbusters. So anyways, Private Parts was released February 27th, 97. Again, if you're not a Howard Stern fan, if you hate the guy, if you think he's gross, disgusting, vile, offensive, I don't know what you think. I love the guy because of all the entertainment he's given me in my life. I've been a fan since 97, since I was 13 years old. So coming up in 3 years, I'll be a Howard Stern fan for 30 years. So, again, the guy's entertained me more than anybody in my life. More than movies or anybody else. More than music. Howard Stern to me is the greatest comedian of all time. And he is a comedian because he talks for like 4 hours. And he's funny. The shit he does and says. And maybe some think Howard Stern Show died when Artie left. Well, Artie had to get the fuck out of there. He tried to kill himself. So, and by the way, the show's still good in my opinion. If you think it's not, that's your opinion. But, yeah, Private Parts released February 27, 97 at a budget of $28 million. Box office. It became the number 1 film and the number 1 soundtrack at the same time, and Howard Stern was the number 1 DJ in New York at the same time it was released. Now that's triple threat right there. He was the number 1 guy on radio at the time in 97. He still is the number 1 guy on radio. Fuck Joe Rogan. He's not number 1. He's not. Not to me. He's not horrible. But I'm not a fan of his show. And he's not funny, in my opinion. Like, oh, some could argue Joe Rogan does better interviews. He has better guests. More entertaining interviews. No, he doesn't. I disagree. His show is not better. But anyway, that's my personal opinion. Joe Rogan is not number 1. He'll never be number 1 over Howard Stern, and nobody in the history of entertainment or radio will ever be again. Howard Stern, one of a kind. What he did. And what he still does. I'll be back in a second. Again, I'm such a fan. I'm going to pull out some stuff I got. Again, I'm such a super fan. I got this book. Baba Booey's book. Gary Delabate's book. They call me Baba Booey. He's taking a lot of shit. A lot of ball busting on him for over 30 years. Artie Lang, Too Fat to Fish, got his book because I'm such a fan of Howard Stern Show. And his latest work, his latest book, he's had 2 previous books, Miss America and Private Parts in the 90s were his books. This is his last book, Howard Stern Comes Again. Great fucking title. Hilarious, in my opinion. Howard Stern Comes Again. Thick book. A lot of pages. But it's awesome. Great read. Awesome to look, go through and read. So anyways, I just thought I'd share some of my memorabilia. Because I'm such a super fan of Howard. And that's the reason I keep Sirius XM also. I love Busted Open Radio. Love Busted Open. Listen to it every day. But it's not the Howard Stern Show to me. So, yeah, this is about Private Parts. Not my fandom. But I just thought I'd share those books that I have. Don't get me started with all the DVDs and VHS tapes I have of the Howard Stern Show. Going back to the Channel 9 show that I found online because you can't find it anywhere else. Channel 9 show, the E shows, and Howard TV. I got basically all his shows on DVDs. But Private Parts, again, made a profit. $41.2 million. It should have been higher, in my opinion, but it's probably made more in rentals and streaming. It's always, when is it always streaming on? It was always streaming on Showtime or something, or one of those channels. But recently it was on Prime Video, Private Parts. I watched it again like a month or 2 ago. Private Parts, all-time great movie from the 1990s. My number 1 movie, Private Parts. Also, hilarious title for a movie. Funny as hell. Great title. So, Baba Booey to you all. Hope you enjoy my top 50 movies of the 90s. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all 4 parts. What are some of your favorite movies of the 90s? Leave them in the comments. Bye for now.